Benvenuto, Progetto Nigel. Like most days, it is wet, it is miserable, and it's windy. More work to do than I can handle, and my toes suddenly feeling broken again. So today, I'm going to replace the electric motor on the Rover 214, also known as Project Hank. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I've been too busy doing other things. Too busy doing other things, I said. Too busy. Right, that's enough of that nonsense. You look at this spare one that I have here. We can see how you take it off. It's very simple. Very simple indeed. It is 4 10mm headed bolts. And the plugs. Right, that didn't take long for something to go wrong. This one appears to be exactly the same. Fittings are the same, everything. But this is from a Rover 25. And that is BMW, a BMW plug, whereas of course that's a Honda plug. So it could just be a matter of snipping the wires and soldering the plugs. But what if it's not the fan after all? This is where in the future I'll be keeping more and more plugs with a decent length of cable on, because I could plug that straight in, stick it onto a battery. Whereas I don't really fancy having two bits of a wire so close to each other with a battery on the other end. Maybe I'm just being cowardly. There's just one problem after another now. I was going to start it and just retest that thing on there, but I can't because the battery's no good and my charger doesn't seem to want to charge it. So, jump leads, and I can't even do that properly because my jump leads are in a state of repair because they were fraying at the ends and not working properly. Look. So now I'm going to have to try these skinny jump leads and see whether they'll do the job. Well, I think that battery might be super goosed. That's a new term for you. Super goosed. I wonder if I'll ever use that again. Double check. Definitely not working. Just in case though, I will just go and check that I haven't just got another one knocking about. Wouldn't surprise me if I had. Yeah, I found one. There it is. So maybe I should test this one first. Plug just about reaches. Unsuccessful. How curious. That's not working either. I think the chances are it probably does work, and so does the other one. And maybe I should just look at the fuses. Well, I've checked the fuse and that's fine. But then there's also a relay as well. So I've just pulled that out and it's got a bent leg. I can't really see that being the issue, but let's try another one. Still nothing. It's turning into a bit of a ruddy mystery. Well, I may as well just try a different fuse in it anyway, in case there's a break in it and you can't quite see. And luckily, I have a box full of them. That's because my wife likes pulling fuses. I don't know why, she just does. But she doesn't know anything about them because she's kept this one. Look at that. No difference. That looks hot. I'm going to have to see if I can find an actual plug. I did keep lots of plugs from a previous R8, I'm sure I did. So there's a possibility I have a box full of them deep down in my dungeon. And look what I find amongst this little lot here. That, I believe, is what I need. Deep down in the dungeon, deep down in the jungle. Obviously these two bits of wire are too short to go across the battery terminal, so I'm going to solder on two bits of wire. So having done that, I then discovered that the plug isn't exactly right after all, so I've had to mess about with that plug. Now I'm going to see if it works. Oh, that can't be right, surely. Unless that battery's... Nope, definitely not. That's okay. After a bit of jiggling around, I actually got that fan to work. It's just not making a very good connection down to my inadequate soldering. So that means that there's a problem with the wiring in the car. Yes, it can only really mean that between this and where it goes underneath there up to the fuse box, something's broken. And that means more messing around, taking things off. I can definitely say removing the ECU is not what I was expecting to do with this today. Now the only possibility I can think of here is something wrong within the fuse box, but I don't know whether that's the kind of thing that happens with them. So I'm enlisting the help of my Rover enthusiast friends. See if any of them know. Down in the dungeon again, looking at my box of boxes of fuse boxes. And I've got loads of them here. Loads of them. Yep, easily got 10 in there. Not one of them's the correct one. Now I have all but given up on that car for the day because of the rain and because of lack of motivation and because I've got another job to sort out. Streetwise, someone's buying the wheels off me tomorrow. Wheels! Someone's buying my wheels! So I've got to move the ZT out of the way first. A bit of a puddle in there since that door's not been closing properly. Now on a modern car, once you start removing all this kind of stuff like that there, it won't work. But this isn't a modern car, and that's one of the things I like about them. That is an excellent engine. Putting a seat, driver's seat in loosely was quite a good idea, especially now I've fitted a carpet to the boot. I really wouldn't be able to see what I was doing, so I need to be able to see the mirrors properly. Whoa! I seem to have backed it into the stinging nettles somewhat. That'll be the second encounter of stinging nettles I've had today, because I stuck my head in some before while looking at these wheels. Yeah, got a nice big stingy patch on my forehead. It was great. Yep, those stinging nettles while having a look at that wheel, which is a bit bald. But actually it doesn't matter because the chap who's buying them already knows they're bald because I told him. Now this Streetwise, known as Project Snotter, or originally it was Project Tony, has been sat here for quite a while. I know I don't exactly rush myself with these jobs, but this one, yeah, this one's really taken the biscuit. Hooked up, ready to be yanked up the slope. It's definitely about time I started moving on with this car actually. Having no window in there has probably ruined the carpet. Oh, not that again. Transit face should not be losing the tug of war battle against the Streetwise with no handbrake on. Vauxhall Zafira proving itself to be useful in the yard by storing carpet. This carpet is so much more comfortable than the muddy ground. The fourth alloy is in the boot, which is a bit awkward because I can't get the boot open. Well, your wheels are out of the car and ready. It's time for all of the toys in Nigel land to go to bed. And it's good night to John. He served no purpose today, but at least it starts and can be moved around. Good night. That is the end of today's video.